Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So we're at the final part of the end event. We've seen a lot of destruction, a lot of tactics, some really cool combat, but I want to update you on the situation. So the situation currently stands. The alliance of players defending the middle has broken down. DBS and Dash, their alliance is still holding strong for the moment, but utter chaos has broken out around the jump location. Players are fighting each other, everyone wants control and they want to get out of this world alive. Ryan is currently in a battle with one of the DBS ships, the Dash ships out on the perimeter. I think it's Unagi King. He's got one of them cool triangles of death and they are exchanging some serious fire. From the watching what's going on though here at the moment, it looks like Ryan is mostly putting out laser fire and the odd inaccurate shots, so there's definitely more fire going towards Ryan, but Unagi has taken some damage. You can see his front row of thrusters there smoking and not doing too well, but the amount of fire he's putting back on Ryan, well, it's just a matter of time until Ryan gets some critical hits on some of his really important areas and has to break off the fight. For the moment though, both ships are not doing too bad. Two of Ryan's rear thrusters have gone and Unagi has so many Hydrogen thrusters, it's really not going to make too much of a difference. Plus the rapid fire that's going towards Ryan is making all the difference in this fight. Them doors are protecting the thrusters of Unagi's ship really well and they're allowing him to get them shots off even though he's under fire. Now on Ryan's ship we do have a heavier caliber of weapons, so if them shots do land, does have a chance to do a little bit more damage, but away from them you can see the fighting started to break out around the middle. Loot Goblin said, I want the middle for myself, forcing the MCRN ship to the side and everyone is opening fire. Traces are going everywhere, missiles are being tracked. There's even an MBS ship who's managed to get himself into the mix in this situation. So MCRN are going to have a bit of a problem trying to shift Loot Goblin's battleship. It's a very heavy design made of completely heavy armor, and for the moment they're not quite targeting each other by the look of it. But this little ship by RAB is trying to change that. RAB have come on a little bit later to the party now, and they want that territory for themselves. They are not happy with the current balance of power around this jump gate. You see one of the other smaller ships here with some bit more firepower. This has got these protective rings around it, is doing some damage. MCRN again hammered on the edge of this ring here. The hulk of that large battleship doesn't really have much defences on the bottom as well, so Loot Goblin's going to have to be careful or he'll have his hull penetrated and his ship destroyed. It looks like one of the Star Trek ships is going for the central point, trying to push Unagi out of there, but to no success. MCRN had taken an absolute pounding from that flank as well, with RAB and some of the other factions doing some work. Checking the timer, there's about 19 minutes left of this event. Of course, I've trimmed it a little bit down so it's a little bit more compact, but still it's going to be as raw and uncut as possible. And you can see each shot is slowly disabling the ships. Now, what I do know is Loot Goblin has a whole other battleship waiting off to the side, ready for him to bring in the last moments to try and steal it. MCRN are working there. We've got RAB up here doing some work with a little bit of a 40k ship from a distance. They're all trying to destroy the ships on the point, but ships with the weapons core and heavy armor do take quite some time to destroy, so it might be better to use the good old ramming tactic and just try to push them ships out the center with momentum and weight. And it does look like the Star Trek ship has managed to push Unagi's ship to the side. I'm not sure if that's the case if Unagi's not at the helm anymore, he's going to go and fetch his other ship or whatnot. But you can see he's managed to push it to the side, and the closest ship to the centre is currently the Star Trek ship in design. As you can see here, DBS have got in there with their cargo ship that jumped out earlier, and they are trying to push on the point. It is a very small jump gate, this. It's big enough for one or two ships to fit in, but at the moment it's an absolute party. It looks like an MCRN ship is going for a ram, dislodging. Ooh, is this going to dislodge him? Oh, it's going straight through him. Yeah, so that's dislodged the Star Trek ship, pushed it off. Unagi's still staying strong up there. That was a smooth move by MCRN there, changing the balance of power. If they can just get one of their larger ships or one of their smaller ships and wedge it right in the middle there, they'll be in a really good place. You can see the Dead Space ship in the background looking absolutely gorgeous, and Ryan's ship must have broke that contact with Unagi and came back towards the central point. They're not looking too damaged though. All the players are still quite strong. They have a lot of weapons available to them, and this is why we're seeing so much concentrated fire on this point. It's also nice to see that more players are targeting each other now and the alliances are actually breaking down. RAB giving some fire from a distance, penetrating what looks to be the top of the MBS ship. I put a little comment in the side chat a minute or two ago saying we just need someone to come in and John Cena the place, you know, whack whoever's out in the middle, and player after player are about to do this, so it's damn exciting to see. It looks like that cargo ship of DBS, it's got nothing left but the centre. 2 whole rings have been ripped off the part. So for the moment, it still looks like Loot Goblin is holding closest to the centre, even though I don't think he's in his ship. So really nice work, a really tough design of that battleship, even though it has an open bottom. So off to the left you can see a ball engaging from long distance, another DBS ship engaging from long distance there as well. Actually, I think that ball got knocked out before, it's just still floating around. We've got an MCRN ship putting some supportive firing down, and you know who's using them cluster munitions. It'll probably be the main MCRN ship. Yep, it's moving in. Maybe it's going to build up some momentum and try to push the other ships out the way, because the only way of moving them bigger ships is by pushing them with a bigger ship with enough momentum to get them out there. But it is getting clusters here in the middle. Looks like DBS are getting very close to the point. MCRN have wiggled a little ship in there, but it's still looking like Loot or possibly the Star Trek ship is closest to the point at the moment. I do know Conrad is watching the point very on top of it, making sure whoever makes it at that last minute will be counted correctly. Looked like a railgun came in there from the side. Shrapnel fire going off. Everyone is just targeting into the centre. Sadly, there's not a weapon that can just clear the area, something that with a massive explosion. DBS there have been ripped apart with that cargo ship, but brave of them to get in at this earlier stage. Very nice indeed. Having a look to the right, it looks like we've got some of the smaller ships coming in as well. We've still got the main bulk of the fire coming from the MCRN vessel and the DBS ship that is on the flank. They're yet to target each other, and I still think the MCRN ship will be a big threat to the end if it's not dealt with. So you can see the 2 MCRN ships there taking their fire into the middle. Lots of PDC fire. PDCs don't do a lot of damage to heavy armour, but they can stop a lot of fire from coming out towards you, and over time they will eat away. And here's me giving a little bit of a chat in the side. I just want someone to come at this mess of ships with full power and smash right through them all. I know that's the only way that we're going to be able to dislodge these ships in the centre, so some players are going to have to get the balls up and just ram straight through it and capture that point for themselves. For the moment, it's looking quite close. The shrapnel rounds are still going in. It looks like MCRN are actually getting engaged from the flank there. If they're not too careful, they might lose some of that rear propulsion, and they'll be in trouble. They've got one of MCRN ships to the right of the screen there, engaging whoever's on the flank of it. Yes, they're taking some heavy hits to their engine bay. Oh, this is not good. Who is that? Who's that up there? I can't even tell. Is that DBS? Oh no, Loot Goblin is coming in his second battleship. God, this guy has a lot of spare time building these battleships. I've seen him working, and when I recorded that time lapse, it was almost 12, maybe not 12, it was more than that, easily 19 hours of just sitting there watching him build. Ryan's coming in from the other side here. Is he going to go for a ram? If he goes for a ram and dislodges everyone in there, they might have a chance. RAB are still doing some work up there. They're intercepting their weapons fire as they go in. Lasers are picking off the hulk of that DBS ship. And over here, Loot Goblin's coming in. We could have a really bad scenario here where Loot and Ryan collide with the middle from both sides at the same time and don't really do much damage. Especially Loot ship, it's so bloody heavy. So RAB look like they are attempting to shoot up the back of the MCRN ship. One of the smaller MCRN ships at the top of the screen there doesn't look like it's doing too well. It's putting a lot of PDC fire out, but Loot Goblin's putting a lot of fire back on him. So the carnage and the beauty of Weapons Core. If you haven't tried Weapons Core out on a large server, you need to give it a go. It changes up the experience, it makes it into a light show, and we've got connection by the look of it from Ryan's ship, and he has pushed the carcass of Loot Goblin's battleship out of there. And is he taking anyone else with him? It looks like the Star Trek ship is coming with him as well. Perfect. That is clearing up the centre of them wrecked ships that don't have a crew in anymore. and Loot Goblin is coming in from the other side. Still a lot of fighting going on from the outside. You can see that MCRN are trying to focus their fire on Loot Goblin by the look of it, all the ships around him. We've got the Dead Space ship underneath as well, trying to focus some fire in the centre, and it looks like Ryan has managed to clear the centre point, and the closest ship currently is MCRN. You can see it parked there. It looks like it's uncrewed or disabled, but Loot Goblin is coming back towards the centre. Is he going to push everything back in? This is not going to be good. Let's have a look. Oh no, he's cutting it close. He's cutting it really close. He's coming right over the top of Ryan's ship and his wreck, as well as the Star Trek ship design. He's cruising over it. He's cleared it, so he could get himself back in the centre here. MCRN is still sitting off to the right side. Lots of tracer coming in, but as we know, Loot Goblin's ship is a hard nut to crack, especially with a fresh one with fresh armament, weapons and armour. It's going to be even harder shifting him off the point now. So we're probably coming into the last 10 or so minutes of this event. Loot Goblin is looking like he is going to possess the keys in the ship to win this one. So it looks like Ryan's jumping out, so he's getting out of that wreck that he's got himself into, and maybe he'll reposition himself for another ram. So yeah, there he is. He's jumped out, but his ships remain just because of the delay with all the action and carnage and calculations going, and we should see him pop out of shot in a moment's time. And it looks like the MCRN ship has managed to grab the front of Loot Goblin's ship and push it down off the point. That's a serious bit of a wrestling move there. The other MCRN ship and even the Dead Space ship now are pushing for control. That Dead Space ship has a lot of reinforced armour. Oh, and there's a lot of firepower coming in from the outside. I think that's RAB firing some missiles at the back of MCRN. MCRN are losing a lot of their rear sort of propulsion, and Loot Goblin and the Dead Space ship are now in a bit of a push. Is that another ship that's going to be stuck inside Loot Goblin? We'll also have to be very careful here and pay attention to players to make sure they haven't activated their static grid, because that would be breaking the rules at this point. And I've got a feeling that Dead Space ship may have activated its static grid, but we'll have a look at that from the admin perspective shortly. Loot Goblin and the Dead Space ship have been merged together, so we'll have to be very careful. Shots are still going out between each other, and I'm getting a bit suspicious. I'm thinking that that ship has definitely activated its static grid, and that would just ruin the fun of this event. It's all about pushing each other out and battling for that point, not just running over to it and locking yourself down with a static grid. Still, lots of fire coming from the back. Loot Goblin's old wreck, it has one or two turrets, but they don't seem to be firing at the moment. Maybe it's broke the plumbing or the connection between them. The MBS ship there's letting off a few rounds. And up above, we've also got another ship who's getting stuck in the action. Railguns going off from the front of Loot Goblin's ship. And it looks like the Bird of Prey might still be out there as well. It disappeared after that fight before. What's going out here on the fringes? Oh, we've got one of the MCRN ships drifting away. It must have took a bit of a heavy hit. RAB are still trying to hit from a distance. We've got an MBS Bird of Prey up at the top right. Oh, they all want this point. I'm not seeing anyone with enough momentum, though, to push the ships that are currently in the centre away just yet. It'll only be a matter of time before someone works up the courage to do so. And it looks like the Bird of Prey is on a good approach. It's just, will that ship actually fit through the jump gate with its massive wings like that? It's lining up and it's putting some serious fire towards the gate. It's also taking some fire as well. Its railgun seems to be slightly overheating. RAB are hitting it from the side, yeah, in their 40k ship. They're dropping some serious firepower on it from the side there. Try to disable the engines, maybe even slow it down before it hits that jump gate. RAB might still be in a chance. Oh, look at that railgun firing into the chaos. Oh, it looks like they've cut off one of the wings on the right-hand side of the Bird of Prey. Oh, it's not extinct yet, this bird. This bird is dealing some serious damage, and it's taking it as well. Look at the glorious shape of that. Amazing. Great work, players. I can't believe the quality of ships that I'm seeing at this final event as well, and just how much people have built. To also let you know about this, for the majority of this server, we built the assembler efficiency on 1 times as well. That's the slowest as it can go. We only turned it up to 3 times in the last few days, so the players have really put time and effort in collecting resources and attending other events as well. So the jump drive gate is currently doing a little bit of a test fire. It's almost about to fire up. We need to keep an eye on the chat, and the Bird of Prey is coming in. So if this dislodges everything, it could steal the point. There's still quite a few minutes left. You can see there's some long railgun fire going in as well. Birds of Prey is slightly off course. If it can connect with its head though, it might be able to push some of them ships out. Come on, come on, push them ships out. It's not going to fit though, them wings are far too big. And it looks like it's managed to miss and connect with the low area. Yes, I can see why. That Dead Space ship is definitely a static grid at the moment because it is not reacting, not responding at all. I'll have a word with the admin team and we'll get that popped out and removed. Because we can't have any players doing that. It just takes away from the event. So let's have a look at our merge of ships here. We've got a bird of prey, we've got a battleship. We've also got what looks to be underneath all these. Is that the MCRN ship? I think it's the MCRN ship. We've got 2 MCRN ships trapped under here, under this array of tracer fire and whatnot. And then up above, someone is giving some firepower out as well. RAB are coming in with a tasty little ram. And we still need to get that ship out. Yeah, it's not moved at all. That's a static grid. We're getting rid of that in a second. Sorry to that player, but we can't have that. We can't be doing that, I'm afraid, mister. So we'll pop that out and we'll continue on with the action. So that grid's been popped out and you can see all the grids are back to moving now. So everyone is getting in there. It is absolute carnage at the end of these events. The final server, since it's the last day, everyone throws everything they've got. There's no holds back and you get a really awesome fight like this one. It looks like they've sent in a new ship as well here at the back, trying to push things out. Yeah, I'm not sure who's on the point. Is it TVK? Who's holding around that central point? Is it going to be a last minute steal? I'm trying to have a look. It looks like Loot Goblin's still holding the point maybe, or the Bird of Prey's head could be at the position. It's going to be difficult. This is going to be down to Conrad to judge who's the closest at the end here. The fire from the outside ships is really not making any damage. It's just a battle of thrust. How hard will people thrust? I've got Conrad also looking through all these grids at the moment, making sure no one's going static. So we're going to see a real nice ending. We've got another MCRN ship coming in. It is ultimate carnage as that gate charges up for its final time. Who is going to make it out of this solar system alive? Got another little wing-like ship coming in from the side there. It's a little bit too late for the party. Ryan's also coming in right at the end. Any moment now, we're going to have a winner on our hands. We've got 1 minute on the point. Ryan's coming with a little bit of a ram and he's pushing. He is pushing. He's doing something really cheeky here. He's getting everyone off the point. Could it be in the bag for him? That's the question. Yeah, look at that. He's managed to use his momentum and shifted everyone out. Loot Goblin's tail is stuck on the side of the portal. Loot has the lead at the current moment in time by the look of it, but now it's Ryan back on the point. Who's going to claim this? Yeah, Ryan's got it. Ryan's managed to scoop in right at the end here. It's not quite over. There's a few seconds left on the clock. Someone could do the same. Oh, hold on. Hold on, there's a bit of shift. Someone's pushing back here. Everyone's thrusting in, trying to get into the mess. Oh my god, what is happening here? The jump drive is still trying to power up. It's just not certain. There's a few moments left, and the carnage that this battle has left is unbelievable. Come on, Conrad, we've got to come up with a solution here. Who has got that last point? The seconds are ticking by. I'm going to open the chat up any moment, and we'll see who's won it. Husker's got the point for the moment. Now Luke's got it back. Oh wow, this is very hard. It's hard to see what's going on here. There's shrapnel, there's bullets, there's traces going everywhere. There's so many ships in close proximity. This is how you break a server, definitely. It's amazing that Space Engineers with Weapon Core is even managing to keep up with this, with the sim speed not dropping to a super low level as well. It has dropped, but it's not got beyond a point of playability. And there's a little bit of a push. That ship's kind of scooping down just on top of Luke's deck. Will that make the difference? Unagi for the steal. We've got a ship coming in, cartwheeling across the top there. Just not enough thrust. No, it's missed it. It's missed it. Yeah, I don't think Unagi's getting in there. TRK has won it. They've been on the point at the end. So congratulations to TRK. I'd like to also thank you guys for watching. It was an amazing battle, and I hope you join us in a future season.